Thank you, baby.
Young girls, don't cry. You're not alone in the fight. The broken, the unspoken, we can't heal if the wound is open. If it's like the way you see your heart is bleeding, you cry is ignoring you are ill. When the wrong, the pain in life, I kept the secret to gain for their own benefit. Be strong, be brave. You're too far away from the grave. Stand tall. We are here. We don't know the spirit of fear. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. Liberia, Liberia, when will we stop being the inferior? Our vulnerable children, stripped of their innocence. It feels like no one cares to see your heart is bleeding. You cry is ignored when you are ill. When the wrong, the pain, and lies I kept a secret to gain for their own benefit. Be strong, be brave. You're too far away from the grave. Stand tall. We are here. We don't know the spirit of fear. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. Liberia, we can't give up. Turn this back on us. Liberia, we can't give up. Liberia, we can't give up. When they have turned their backs on us. Young girls, don't cry. You're not alone in the fight.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Return to Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is October the 9th. We wake up on this Saturday morning with a lot of yo about what happened yesterday, about this Elliot Cummings, about this Nombli Kanga, about this Benana Ure, about this Joseph Walker, about this overall CPP debacle. It's a debacle. When leadership matters, who will lead Liberia? This is the question. Because this is where we are right now. When leadership matters, who will lead Liberia? Each and every day, we've been waking up to the political yo. Now, yesterday, it just blew up with this whole he said, she said coming to a head. But then I hear it. Nyombe Kanga reading a statement yesterday telling us that there were changes made in the document, that Elliot Cummings altered the document. He changed the document. He needs to explain to us now why he did that. The ball is in his court. Elliot Cummings went on the news yesterday talking about how Nyombe Kanga did something to him, and blah, blah, blah. He's making a press statement tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Then we listen to Focus on Africa. I will listen to them just now. And they were going through all the same thing we're going through. But I went through this yesterday too. So here we are now. In a whole pot of mess. Because of immaturity. He said, she said, better now you threw a wrench. Anything they say. You threw a they say wrench in there. And everybody went crazy. Now here we are. In a whole pot of mess. But there was truth to the allegation that Ben and I prophet. There is truth. And it is sad. It is sad to see our young men and leaders, educated people in our society, going nuts, acting crazy and foolish for power. It's totally nuts. It's totally nuts. These people are supposed to be better than George Weah. Better in the sense of education. Better in the sense of thinking abilities. Better in the sense of sitting down and reasoning for the better future of our country and our people. But here we are, a total mess. A total educated bullshit. And let me get into my topics because I don't want to start talking about my lesson in my introduction. My topics for today are: 1, what is the real issue with the CCTPP debacle? 2, when the nation thrives on deception. I meant thrive on deception. I should not put that there. I would just leave it there. And 3, Liberia needs good governance. Let me start with my first topic. What is the real issue with the CPP debacle? What is the real issue, young man? I told you from the beginning, personalities. The real issue is personalities. Personalities in this organization cannot get along. Personalities in this organization should not be together. Because whatever good intention Elliot Cummings has towards the leadership of Liberia, joining the CPP in his interaction with Benani Uri has made Elliot Cummings what he is today. It brought out the true man who Elliot Cummings is, another deceitful man. You see? And this is the problem with our Liberian society. Our Liberian men got too many problems. It's either tribal, Congo, or country, it's either personal, jealousy, or some kind of bullshit that relates to small town living. This is a small country. Monrovia is a small city. All of us know each other. All of us who are educated interact with each other and know each other. That because the playing field is small. It's small. It's not large. Despite the country being big to some extent and can accommodate more minds, our country is limited to the small minds in Monrovia because everything is focused in Monrovia. Everything is centered in Monrovia. All our educated people, everybody come to Monrovia. So the small minds in Monrovia dominate everything. And I will show that in my lesson as we go on. It dominates everything. And this is where we are today. Because if you're in a small, close-knit community and you don't have real men, certain dominant people stand out to overpower the society and the community and the group and the club and whatever you're into. If you don't have people to stand up to each other, real men, and there are only a few that make things that work together in their own deceitful ways, they can destroy the community, they can destroy the club, because they would start doing things out of the normal setting of the laws, of the rules, of the organization, because they are the roosters and they're all in concurrence with each other. So there's no opposition. There's no other force of educated people in the group to challenge these few people. So they become the voices, they become the power, the oligarchs. And this is what happened in Liberia now, in our society. This is what happened in our society. You got George Weah and the other people on one side that don't know nothing, that have proven that they are incompetent, that have proven that they fail. Now we're looking for good leadership. We're looking for people who can lead this country to a better pasture. And here we are, with all the educated people have grouped themselves together. That's why I said this organization must be dissolved. Because we don't have a choice now. We don't have a choice. Castle with the PLP is a new, it's an outside group. He's new. This is the group of seasoned leaders that have been in the country that we know, and we're looking forward to lead our country. So this is actually the only group we have no alternative. This is the alternative. So we got the four educated people together, and they're coming to prove to us that they are the most corrupt, disagreeable, disunited people in our nation. We may like Joe Walker, but Joe Walker is in this group. He's in this group. And somebody said it, and he's not saying nothing. Joe Borga needs to take the lead now and tell these people to cut the bullshit off. Because it's embarrassing to our nation. Here we are on one hand, the EU head telling us that our nation and our capital city is the most dirty place in the whole Africa. And you know Africa is the bottom of the world. If we're the most dirty city in Africa, then we are the most dirty city in the whole damn world. The whole world. Somebody said it. In the whole world. So that means we're more dirty than the people in the Sahara Desert, in the Serengeti, and all the places, like people more dirty than all the places over there. Damn. Excuse me. Toba told us. Toba told us that when we kill him and all through our country, our country will come down to it. This, and we're down to it now. We are rock bottom. Where our leaders are the sources of the problems in our country. This is what we come down to now. Where the educated people are fighting among themselves for power, like the dummies of our nation. Can you believe this shit? That's why I told them yesterday, I said, this thing is not a shame on LA Comics. It's a shame on all of y'all. You mean you're sitting there, educated people, you're plagiarizing, you're stealing, because plagiarizing. You writing things, you copying things from different things. You taking things, other things, and putting things into other things. They're not supposed to be there. It's the same shit, literary stealing. Literary stealing. When you change documents, you alter documents. You're altering documents. You put in things in the documents that weren't in the documents. All of that come on academic stealing, on a political stealing, on a criminal stealing, on a stealing. That's stealing. Every kind of stealing. And you know, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. So let's look at the chronological order, all the different things. How did Benani you get this information? Okay, some people say he got it from they say from NEC, a source at NEC told him. So you know, Liberia is a small country. We can try to question where Benani got his source from. We can ask all the questions and say this is and not supposed to be this way and not supposed. He got the information. He got the information that there was temporary. He wrote the letter. He threw a wrench in the thing. He threw a wrench in whatever plan the people who have filed that false document or that tampered document with the NEC had in mind. He threw a wrench in their plans. So they call for investigation. Then this is where all the incompetence, all the administrative failures come in. It showed our leaders them are lackadaisical in their attitudes toward our leadership of our country. Because here we are debating whether they read the report or not. Here we are debating whether these 4 people read the framework document or not. So if they didn't read it, whoever changed it, and people, I mean, there are so many speculations out there right now. Elliot Cummings changed it. No, he didn't change it. It was Tokpa that changed it. But I will play a tape. Let me play the first tape. This tape is from Core Family. She was on a focus on Liberia podcast recently. I just saw it recently, and she was talking about it. She's one of the officials of the CPP, and they had her on there talking about it. And she was talking about the attitude of our leaders. You should hear this woman talking about the attitude of our leaders, how they are lackadaisical in their leadership habits, how their administrative procedures are terrible. They have no damn procedures. And that's the way it happens everywhere. It happens all the time. And that's why even with leadership, when I start raising hell with people, they should get mad at me, even with Eula. When I went into Eula had what? 15 chapters? Nobody at the head of Eula. They see Cooney, who was talking on Wilma Cooney, who was talking on that damn and focus on Africa. He is just as bad as everybody. The same thing he's talking about. He casually and what he did the same thing in Eula. They ran Eula for 20 years among the three, interchanging the leadership among the three. Why? Because they were the boys that represented the PPP after the coup. So all the native people in Eula followed them. Eula was a native organization now. That's why Eula broke down. Because these useless people, like Wilma Cooney, the same damn chief political analyst, that damn useless man, Anthony Cassidy, who's working in Liberia now with the vice president, with the president office, these are the same people who want to lead Liberia now. He's in the president office, and what the other useless men, Wetty, the man who are doing citizenship here. These three guys ruled Eula for 20 years. 1 year, Wetty is chairman, Cooney is secretary general, and what the guy, Wetty is financial man. Then the next year they will switch it around. They did that for almost a decade or more with the leadership. They divided Eula on a native and Congo basis. They stopped James Lassar, for being president. When James Lassar won by one vote, they divided Eula. They said James Lassar was the stooge of the Congo people because we supported James Lassar. The same Cooney. Liberians are very deceitful. And our deceitfulness leads to wickedness to our country. Now, yet Cooney talking against all these people when he does the same damn shit. Our people are wicked. I know all these people. That's why when I talk, they don't say shit. Let them open their fucking mouths. They can't say shit when I talk because I know them. I know the Cooney, I know the Parker, I know the Ure, I know the Cummings, I know every one of them. And I can tell you who they are. And that damn Wilma Cooney is just as useless and evil and native, damn native ass. These are the people that cause the shit in our country. Then they come sit down and act like they know the law. And all. These are the people that violate our laws for tribalism. These guys turned Eula into a tribal organization to maintain power for over 2 to 3 decades. Now they won't go to Liberia. Nobody know them in Liberia. They're trying to build themselves now. They could lead the useless people in Eula. That's why Eula is so fucked up today. But this is what happened. This is the same bullshit deceitfulness of useless men and women leading Liberia today. It's worse. So Benana threw his little ranch, his little DSA. He said see shit, but then now he said that DSA. He threw a little DSA ranch in there. So the DSA ranch started all this shit. Come to find out now, Cummings, them they changed this thing. And Cummings was involved in it. He said it, but let's listen to core formula before I start my analysis from her. Because she is an official of the Unity Party in the CPP. And she explained some of the problems with the organization, how they have no procedures. These people running our organization, the college club. Because I told you, as soon as I heard about this thing, I said that Benin and Europe politics are cutting politics, cutting university politics. I recognize it right away. That's why I took my hand out of all of that shit. That's why I don't put my hand in Liberian politics, because I know it. As soon as I heard about Benin throwing that ranch in the shit, I said I'm cutting on university politics. Let's see if Nomri Kanga, Boka, Cummings, and all of them know Liberian politics. This is Liberian politics here. That's why I said, let's see if they know it. And to show they don't know Liberian politics, this is where we are. They have disgraced themselves and our nation and our people to the whole world. They have disgraced us because they don't know Liberian politics. Because if I were there, I would have crushed this shit right away. I would have known it's cutting on university politics. Right away. And there are ways to crush the shit. But Tawa Benana is the man. Benana playing Liberian politics. And that's why you're scared. Because when Benana play with Liberian politics, people don't know how to react. That is the problem. When Benana does his shenanigans, like throw his ranch where he just did this, that politics. And people don't know how to react to it. They blow shit out. Every shit hitting come to the top. And this is what happened. He heard about Ella Cummings and doing some shit. Or he suspected it. Had no proof. So he said, let me just throw a DSA ranch in there. Oh, I hear they say somebody tampered with the document. Bam! When he threw it in there, everybody got it. Because they were tampering with the documents. They were tampering with the documents. And when he threw it in there, they got confused. Because there is no procedure. There is no system. People don't do things by consensus. No, people do things by, they say, one man will just jump over there and make decisions, or they will do in a secret club, or they will just sit down at a table and decide things for everybody. That's how Liberia runs. We have done this shit forever. And when people like me get mad, they say, oh, Chesson crazy. Yes, I get crazy because I want to kick people in the nuts. I want to kick people in the nuts. And I ain't give a fuck. Because I know these bitches are corrupt. I know these bitches are evil. I know they are wicked. And if you play with them on a civilized plane, like you civilized, they will drag you in the mud. And this is why they want to force Ella Cummings to be vice president of Joe Boka, or get out of the way, let Benana Europe be vice president. That's the message. Take the vice presidency or get the fuck out of CPP, let Benana Europe take over. And Cummings hasn't gotten the message yet. He won't stand and fight these guys on their turf. And when you fight these guys on their turf, you become a damn criminal. They will make you a criminal. And this is where you are now, Ella Cummings. You are a damn criminal. But let me play. I keep saying I'm playing against it. Let me play. I hope you all can hear it. Because you go through the whole thing, talking about how the system's so corrupt, how people do things to control the populace, their membership. And this is what I've been telling you forever. We cannot run our country like we've been doing it since 1822. We cannot. I cannot work in a system that operates on corruption and deception and lies. No, I cannot. I'm of a different breed. I don't know why. I'm just of a different breed. I'm a Christian. I don't like this kind of deep corruption. Why would I just steal just to be stealing? Just for stealing's sake. This is a system of kleptocracy. Just thieves, just to be stealing. They don't need it. Why would let us get $9,000 a month? What would they do with $9,000 a month in the land of poverty? Huh? You know, all this thing gotta change. All this shit gotta change. This is petty stealing. This is the life of crooks and bandits and mobsters. We can't be living like this. My young children, we can't be living like this. We can't. We can't. And I can't hide the profanity because I get mad, man. I get mad. I get mad because I've been talking to thing forever. And yet the thing consistently being continue. And our educated people letting us down. You know, we can't do this. This is what killed my father and all the 13 people. It will kill more people because we have gotten worse. We haven't gotten better. We didn't improve the system. We didn't see what will happen and say, oh, we'll do better. Look at they kill my power for nepotism. And then Johnson put all her children in our government. Nobody saying nothing because your thing is correct. It's not correct. It's not right. How one family was just getting rich with all the wealth of our country. It's not right. It's not right. Our country poor today, Ellie Johnson, whole family rich. Her Sally family is rich. Why? Why do they have an extra advantage over our people? Because our people were blind. And the few people that were there, like Prince Johnson and all the dummies, didn't know any better. They were stooges for Ellen Johnson Sally and the money she was giving them. All they were there for was the money. And that what happens when our nation is led by bandits and criminals and ignoramuses. Everything is money. There is no principle. Now our country is gone. Our resources stolen. And you're sitting here saying, want to support these people still. So, Belinda got the news. He threw the ranch in it. Like, yeah, this girl. I hope it can play good.
I'm thinking to myself, this is a major timeline. How will one person change that and expect the rest of the people to go by? Again, these things don't make any sense to me, Carl.
So I'm not going to say that there was a motive, and I'm not convinced that Cummings was aware that the documents were altered. But I know who does know that would have known that the documents were altered. And that would be Luscious Toll, the other ANC lawyer that was on the committee, Deeply, I can't pronounce his name, for sure had to have known. Whether they were doing it because Cummings told them to do it, or whether they advised Cummings that that's what they were going to do, or if they just did it, I don't know. There's no way for me to know that. Cummings needs to do that as internal investigation. The fact that they're not doing so makes me, raise the red flag. But let's talk about the consensus deadline. So if you have a deadline and people don't meet that deadline, and because they think it's later, and you can go back to NEC and say, oh no, NEC, they're trying to, mess this up. We have a deadline, y'all bring the document, we filed the NEC, it would be too late at that point to go back and change things, right? Because it's already filed with the government. So now we have to go to primary. With the other parties not realizing that the deadline had already passed. This game has been played multiple times throughout the whole CPP process.
Yeah, the corruption. People got to do things. People waiting to find out a decision-making date. People go and make decisions and tell the people, oh, it's too late. The decision already made. We already picked the party member. This is the corruption. This is evil. It been going on our country forever. And the people still doing it. And it's only a handful of people doing it. Why? Because people depend on them. People depend on them to be the minds, the people with the wisdom, the people with the knowledge, the people with the education. So whatever they say, we will depend on them once the other people not opposing them. So if Benani and Boka say, oh, we already decided to do this, and nobody else oppose them, it will pass. It will pass. And nobody does. Why? Because the few people always make decisions and can't do that shit. And that's why me and them always use to fuss. We used to fuss. Because I told them it's not the right way. We got to pursue our constitutional path. If the law says we do it this way, we pursue that path. One or two people can't just make decisions, and this is what killing our nation and our people. Let's continue.
This time it's just that it was written in a document and submitted to NEC without the knowledge of the others. But they're quick to do that deadline game. They did the same thing in NIMBA with this current primary. When candidates wanted to run, they told them that the deadline had already passed because ANC had 2 hours already going to go run. So they had a quick say, oh, we set the deadline inside the WhatsApp group, so nobody else can run. So this is the kind of
How can one group control the deadline for in collaboration?
It's not that one group controlled the deadline. So really what happened was they had all decided to divide the counties among the political parties. And they did this at their little table.
Right.
And it was decided that ANC would get NIMBA, the next election in NIMBA. So that if Jeremiah Coon won the senatorial seat and the other seat became vacant, if he lost to Edith, if Edith lost to Jeremiah Coon in District 1 and NIMBA became vacant, that ANC would automatically get it. It was decided that Unity Party will automatically get Bone County because of whatever. This is the kind of thing that has been going on repeatedly. Bowman County, CPP is going to put up the candidate that Edwin Snow said CPP should put up. Nobody's going to fight that. Nobody's going to contest. The same thing happened in Grand Cape Mount County. Other Unity partisans, other partisans from ANC wanted to go, but no, we're going to vote Dabo Babla. We want to hear nothing from nobody. All y'all go sit down. Dabo going. No process. Even if Mrs. Babla had legitimately won through some kind of primary, fair democratic process, we would have all jumped up in this beating drum and supported her. I'm a UP partisan, but I have a conscience. I'm not going to see that other people wanted an opportunity to run. They were prevented from running, and then I'm going to go jump in the street and be supporting the person. No, that's not how the world's supposed to work. So this is why they do these things. It's so that they can get away with controlling who the candidates are. And the representative by-elections and the senatorial by-elections that were leading up to the 2023 presidential election were a prelude to what is happening now. They make these decisions without any correct process.
The almighty political leaders.
Yes. Even the decision for Talia Uri to run, without any other person being given the opportunity to run on CPP ticket. There was no competition.
Let me stop you. And that's why really I thought that this thing was not, this document change was not out of the ordinary. This looked like the modus operandi of the CPP.
The difference here, though, is that was aware that they were sitting at the table and
And
deciding
then this one they are aware too, and they are just trying to brand
The reason I know that they were not aware that these changes were made is because there is a significant difference between, in fact, there should be zero tolerance. If you're an attorney, there's what's called zero tolerance. There should be zero tolerance for any changes on a document after it's been signed. There's zero tolerance. You cannot change a letter. You cannot even make an edit to a typographical error without taking it back. And
You hear that?
There was a typographical error, so we had to redo it. Please initial these pages, please sign. All of us have gone to school, all of us have worked professionally, most of us, I should say, have worked professionally, so we know how that works. There's zero tolerance. So you can't, to sit here and say that they knew, it's absolutely not true. So Numbly got up there and spoke today. I believe her. Do I think that she conducted herself professionally through this process? No. There's some responsibility there. There's a reason you do things correctly so we don't end up in situations like this. But at the same time, we're not going to pretend that this didn't happen. We're not going to pretend that those documents were not altered. It's because it's clear that the changes that were made occurred without the knowledge of the others. And the discrepancy between the signed, amended document that had already left the legal review and what was submitted to the National Election Commission, there was a discrepancy, and the report confirmed it. And that is that. And we need to deal with it.
And I was also wondering.
So, here it is. Our people got administrative problems. We got some serious administrative problems. We lack procedure in doing things. We don't like it. The procedure is there. We don't follow it. We do what we want to do. The law is there. We don't follow the law. We do what we want to do. And that's why I stopped being with Liberian society and communities and all of that. I stopped it because it was making me sick. It was making me sick. I went to school to learn to follow rules. I went to school to learn to follow laws and order and procedure, to do things in a disciplined manner. Then I come out of school, I see all the people I went to school with doing things the way they want to do it. Because the older people did it at that before. Yes, they did it at that before. We don't have to follow that same path. That same path is corruptive. That same path is not productive. It's corrupt. Maybe they had to do it at that time because of the grave division in the country, the grave tribalism in the country. We were fighting people that couldn't read and write. That were those days. Not these days. Our country has changed. Yes, we still got conquer and country problems, but we're not those people. We are new people. We see what they did brought us today. It didn't bring us anything better. In the world, in the community of world nations, we are far behind. And we cannot be so far behind. It's not good for us. Just by being far behind, places us at risk for starvation, for suffering, for diseases and sicknesses and all kinds of things. But with our consciousness enlightened and guided by empathy, consideration of others, knowing that sharing is good, sharing is not bad, sharing is good. And for us to grow and prosper, we got to share. We got to share. You can't be selfish. And we can't deal on the same things our forefathers did to build Liberia. No. Those things built Liberia, yes, they did. Deception, lies, treachery, built Liberia. But we at the state now, we have reached a certain state that our society is built. And we got to change that process now. Our society is built on lies, deception, treachery. And we don't need that process no more. Because we are more amalgamated. We are more together than we were in 1822. We're more together than we were in 1847. We're more together than we were in 1990. We're more together than we were in 1995. Is that a fact? Or is it a lie? Are we more divided now? I don't know. Because we have lived under a state of deception for so long. Maybe the whole time we thought we had peace and stability. We didn't have it. We didn't have it. It's just that America was supporting Tubman, and Tubman had everything going right. And there was no need for instability of Liberia and Africa at that time. No. There was no need for the gold and diamonds in Africa at that time. The West didn't know too much about Africa then. It was learned by Africa itself. The British knew, but America didn't want to get involved at that time. So, are we more advanced today? But despite the fact, we went to school to change our lives, to follow rules and laws and order, to put meaning to our lives, to organizing things, to have a procedure for doing things, to make it easy, to set precedents. So everybody don't have to come like a stupid bellicose ass looking for where to go. The precedents have been set. You take this step, you take the next step, you take the next step. Success. So there's precedent. But when we continue to do things outside of precedent, outside of the norms, outside of rules and order and discipline, we fail time and time again. So this is where we are. We just heard this girl. She said the same thing. People do things that what they want to do. All of that is just to control other people. Everything is for control, for power, for money, for influence. That's all. Nothing else. That's all it's for. Lies and deceit and treachery. That's all it's for. You mean why we all got to do things like that? A coalition of 4 different people. Why you're so lazy? Why you're so lackadaisical? You can sit down and set procedure and ensure that your people follow it. Why? And to show that Elliot Cummings is so terrible. To show that Elliot Cummings is so terrible. He came in and admitted that they tampered with the document. I mean, our people are so deceitful. First, it was a lie. No, we didn't do it. They think all of that a lie. Then they come out and say, yes, we did it. We did it. Then he come and say, no, we didn't do it again. So, what are you going to tell us on Sunday in the comments? Because when you say you did something, then you come and say you didn't do it again. Then you come and say you want to make statement again. I mean, this is the problem with suffering our country, man. Our problem is not education. Our problem is not law and order. No. Our problem is trustworthiness, truthfulness. We got a problem with deception and lies. People don't follow rules and regulations. People do what they want to do. So they become liars and criminals because they alter things. And this is the way we have done it forever. In the olden days, they would sit down and harmonize this thing. But it had to come to the light because we want change. We got advocates all over. It's not only Costa. We got different people now. We got people that want change, man. This shit can't go on forever, man. Look at our country, man. Look at where we're living. Look at where we're treating each other. That kid was writing his song, man. Look at where we're living, man. Look at where we're treating each other. It's not right. I mean, for a small party like this to be so fucked up, it's not right. Now, I spent almost an hour on this one topic. And let me show you why it's so terrible, man. Because electronics can't, the people can't do this to us, man. You come, you say you did it, then now you come, you say you didn't do it. What all this about? What is about? So let's hear these guys. I'm sorry I didn't bring them on earlier. Let's hear them.
It almost reminded me of what the politicians do here. Sometimes they are talking of gender and the first reaction is nope, nope, nope. Only to find out that whenever more digging is done, they come out and apologize. The first thing we saw was the ANC was this document, right? In simple English, nothing changed. The whole investigation showed that there was never coming 19 You will lie on it, yeah. You can say one Latino was no color and the other one was black and white, so they voted. Let them go. You don't want to call black population back.
Just for your information, Call Famole, who was on the tape I played earlier, is this lady up here. I hope you can see her from my cursor. She's up here. Okay, let's continue with the video.
And all that. So that's the first one. It came out saying nothing changed. Then after the report came out, they're saying, yes, we changed it. Mr. Company by Facebook wrote this. Despite the strong sentiments of feeling provoked, often alone and without choice, or to fight back for here in my heart and education. And given the fact that the ANC and I did follow the framework agreement, but acted honorably in registering the CPP, our partisans and supporters have been accepted and agreed to step down. So while the underlying one, the ANC and I did also. Moments later, that post was brought down and this version came up. Despite the strong sentiments of feeling provoked, often alone and without choice, but to fight back for their and my hard-earned reputation, and given the fact that the ANC and I did not alter the framework agreement, but acted honorably. So that is moved from did alter to did not. The only thing Mr. Cummings did not change is the MIME to NY by the were actually correcting grammar and other things. And the other thing we see that
So, yeah, well, again, Alex Cummings and this document, he come out in one statement admitting that he altered the document. Then he come up in the next statement, he say he didn't. So I mean, I just rest my case on this and move on to my next topic. We're waiting for the final decision of the CPP. I told these people ever since to dissolve the CPP. Why? Because there will be this disagreement. There will always be fuss among these people. They will not agree. Nobody Tanga in your own party got problem there with ability. With ability and his crew. Then they come into the CPP. You got comments. If they keep comments, there will still be problem because he and Benin got personality issues. They will clash on policy issues. They will clash on every kind of issues because it's a leadership problem. It's a personality issue. So they need to dissolve this thing and let everybody go their own way. Let nobody then take their problem with Musa ability and see how far we carry them. Let ANC take their problem with this man and see how far we take them. Because in the end, even if Joe Boca does not get 50 plus 1 in the first round, everybody will have to gravitate toward who they want to truly lead this nation. And the Liberian people got to decide. You got to decide. I can't get involved with this because I don't like the lies. I don't like the deceitfulness. I don't like the treachery. I don't like the treacherous behavior of my people. I don't like the nepotism. I don't like the kleptocracy. I don't like those things. I can't deal in that kind of deceitfulness. I can't. I can't. You know, we know politics. There's always deception and lies and moving things around, trying to get votes and all of that. We know that. But that doesn't differentiate the fact that despite our desires to lead, we have a nation and a people to protect, to govern, to progress and advance and grow. And at sometimes there has to be a connection, a nexus between our service and our desire for our country and our people. And that's where the difference exists. That's where we differentiate greed, selfishness, egotistic behaviors, unpatriotic behavior from the other. And the time of the Liberian people is now. So I want this thing to dissolve. I think they let them go their separate ways because it's no use if everybody's sitting in a party and right now the party is upside down. The party is upside down. The party is totally upside down. So let everybody just go on their own and let the struggle begins. My lesson number 2. When a nation thrives on deception, this is what happens. This is what happens. Because what really builds a nation is teaching our civics to our children, teaching them who they are, what they mean, their relationship to each other. Look at in America right now, there's a terrible problem with identification of American citizens. American people don't know who they are. They can't teach racism. They can't teach race relations. They're so racist. They're so egotistic. They're so arrogant. This is arrogance. When you say your child got to be taught about a special racial thing, if they taught about racial equality, that be making them afraid of race. Race in America is so damn crazy. It's so crazy. I mean, I'm listening to people. I say, what is wrong with these people? We're race. This race superiority, race inferiority. I mean, this is big time. It's big time in this country. And we're fighting about tribalism in Africa, not even because of intellect. Just all the stupid things we're fighting. Just all the stupidness we're fighting to kill each other. And these people here are fighting to see who's superior. You know? Race theory, all this kind of thing. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. They're not my country, because when I see all this kind of stupidness going on about race, about QAnon, about overthrowing democracy in this country, I just want to leave. Because I didn't come here for all this kind of thing. I came here because I believe in American people. But when I see the people, American people want to act like African people, where I came from, and damn it, I might as well go to Africa and fight it out there and lead my people the right way. But I just waiting for my people to get their shit together, because all this kind of shit they're living, we ain't gonna do shit with this shit. They ain't going nowhere with this shit. So this is it. It's all deception and lies. Deception and lies. Nothing is what they say it is. Nothing. Nothing. There's no racism. There's none of those things that impact our daily bread. Nothing. We just need good leaders. That's all. We just need good leaders who will show us the essence of life. Good leaders. That's all. People who are not greedy. People who not care about themselves and their family only. People who not care about just wearing Gucci and Velante and Versace and all that. Come on, man. Give me a break. People dying out there, man. So let me end my lesson now. All of this is to say we just need good governance. Since I've been talking till now, that's all I've been talking. Good leadership. Leadership that got empathy for the plight of our people, for the suffering, for the poor, for the desolate, for the fatherless, for the motherless, for the hungry. People who consider the plight of our people, consider it. Or else we got a long way to go. We got a long, long way to go. I'm just passing the word along. Have a good day. My time is done. Aluta! Continua.